Good evening to all. Very respectfully, I want to invite Professor Dr. Abdul Sahib. Please come on the stage to preside the session. Professor Dr. Abdul the field of archaeology, history. With this, I want to invite all our respected presenters of this conference, of the session today. Please come on the stage, Dr. Muhammad Zahoor and Dr. Shahi. Following up with Dr. Ijaz, please come on the stage. Dr. Mueezuddin Hakal. And place Dr. Muhammad Zahoor and Dr. Shahi.
मतलब 4-5 स्पेशल वीडियो लगा लेना, उसमें आप क्या करें नहीं होता है, तो पूरा लेना पड़ता है। तो यहाँ से पता आपको टोटल एक्सपोज का टाइम बस, फिर आप सही आप जो एक्सपोज करें बस, ठीक है।
Assalamualaikum. Before going to start my presentation, I would like to acknowledge the organizer of this conference. I feel great honor to present my paper here in front of teachers of my teachers. Lots of people in early morning talk about the legacy of Peshawar University, especially Dr. Zakiya Jan Saab, Lisan Ali Saab. Of course, no doubt, the legacy of Peshawar University is spread throughout the country. And I myself is the one of the legacy of Peshawar University, not directly but indirectly, because my teacher, Dr. Shahi, he is the legacy of Peshawar University, and now he is serving Hazara University, and I am the product of Dr. Shahi Khan. So, as Dr. Isari Saab is not sitting here, Dr. Lisan Ali, he has established the Department of Archaeology, Hazara University, Mansehra, back in 2006. And he left VN to explore the Hazara region especially. The purpose of establishing that department was to explore the Hazara region in terms of archaeological potentials. So today I am going to present my archaeological exploration that started by his team back in 2007 to 2023. And it took almost 16 years to complete the Hazara division for the archaeological exploration. And this is the work that I'm going to present now. This is also the joint work by my supervisor, Dr. Shahi, and my own work. So first of all, the topic of my presentation is the Buddhist period archaeology and heritage of Hazara division, a recent archaeological and historical approach. Coming to the introductions, as we all know about Hazara, and today we are sitting at Hazara, the capital of Hazara is known the Abbottabad. We are sitting here. So, as somebody talked earlier about the famous Chinese pilgrim who traveled around this part of world, and he also traveled the ancient Orissa. I think nobody knows before this that similarly, like Udayana, like Texla, Orissa was also an ancient state mentioned by the Chinese pilgrim back in 7th century. The Hazara division, located in the northern region of Pakistan, is rich in archaeological sites belonging to Buddhist period. This region was once a vibrant center of Buddhist culture, playing a significant role in the spread of Buddhism across the Indian subcontinent and beyond. The archaeological and historical study of this period in Hazara offers a valuable insight into the region's past, its cultural exchanges, and the development of religious and artistic traditions. So you can see so this is the location of present Hazara. You can see on the map. So it took 16 years to complete the archaeological exploration of this part of the region. So currently the Hazara is comprised of 8 districts, namely the Haripur district, Abbottabad, Mansehra, Badagram, Turga district, Lower Pakistan, Upper Pakistan, and Kolai Palace. Now coming to the background of the archaeological survey that carried out by the Department of Archaeology, Hazara University, Mansehra. As we know, Sir John Marshall spent a considerable period at Texla, spanning over a period from 1912 to 1936, and explored and excavated many important Buddhist sites, including those falling in district Haripur of Hazara, such as Silsuk, Muramuradu, Pipla, Bamala, Juli, etc. But Marshall and other researchers could not expand and extend their researches to map up the true potential of Hazara region. So for this, I again credit goes to Professor Ihsan Ali, who started archaeological survey of district Abbottabad back in 2006 to 7. And later on, he left the university, but the people he has given the vision to the other professor like Dr. Shakirullah. They had continued exploring the other region of the division, like district Haripur. It was surveyed in 2007 and 8. Later on, again it took some gap due to some financial issues, and in 2016 we were again able to explore the remaining part of district Mansehra and partial Haripur. Later on, recently we have completed archaeological survey of district Badagram, Turga, Lower Pakistan, Upper Pakistan, and the Kolai Palace. So first, I would like to start from district Haripur. It is very well known district in terms of Buddhist archaeological heritage. Haripur is a district in Hazara division of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and home to several significant Buddhist archaeological sites that offer a glimpses into to the rich cultural and religious history of the region. The remains in Haripur highlights the district importance at the center of Buddhist activity during ancient times. In the result of the survey, we were able to document 186 sites that belong to Buddhist periods. So we have also created the GIS mapping of all those sites that you can see on the screen. So these are all the Buddhist sites of district Haripur. Some of these sites are excavated and properly documented, belong to the same districts. such as the Bamana Buddhist complex. It's very well known and very flourished, where we have found the 45 feet long pre-Nirvana death scene of Gautama Buddha back in 2014. So now coming toward District Ahmedabad. District Ahmedabad, we have documented 166 sites. It is published in Pakistan Heritage and under the supervision of Professor Dr. Ihsan Ali. And from there, we have one of the most important site that we have documented, that is the Mochikot Stupa at Mangal. According to the Chinese pilgrim, as somebody discussed about the views of Chinese pilgrims that they have visited different state to state. When they came to Ludhiana, similarly, the Shenzhen visited ancient Gula, the state of Orissa, modern Hazara. So he has mentioned that there is a 200 feet high Buddhist stupa built by Ashoka Raja to the northwest of his capital. Recently we were able to locate the capital of ancient Orissa as well under the supervision of Dr. Shakirullah, and it's been published. And of course the Mangal, it is near the Karandrabad, it is located in District Ahmedabad, is the ancient capital of Orissa. And the site of Mochikot that is mentioned by the Chinese, it's still there, it's still intact. I can show these glimpses. This is the site, and it's still intact and waiting for the archaeologists to come and see, to explore. This is the site mentioned by the Shenzhen, that there is a 200 feet, I again repeat, the 200 feet high stupa built by Ashoka Raja to the northwest of his capital. And the name of the capital was also not given, but we traces and located the capital as the Mangal was the capital of ancient Orissa. And the site is to the northwest of Mangal is still there. Now coming to the district Mansehra. Mansehra is a very well known district in terms of Buddhist remains, especially due to the Ashoka rock edicts, and also of course the Zerde Buddhist complex excavated by the Japanese back in 1992, where they have found a number of stone sculptures that are housed in Peshawar Museum now. And similarly, we do have Bharoderi Gangya Stupa excavated by the Department of Archaeology, Hazara University, from where we have found the unique architectural style of stupa. It is in double masonry. And then we have Kandar Bidadi, of course, it was also started by the excavation started by Professor Ihsan Ali. It was partially excavated, but we have found a number of good collections from there, especially the Indo-Greek coins that are housed in the Hazara University Museum right now. So, in terms of Buddhist sites, we have documented 157 Buddhist sites, and GIS map of these sites have also been created and published. Some of the glimpses of Zerde sites you can see here. Some might be known through the sculptures from Zerde, some might not be known. So these are the sculptures are housed in Peshawar Museum right now. This is the Buddhist stupa at Baragali. We have excavated back in 2019, and you can see the masonry of this stupa. Here you can see it's, we have not found such kind of masonry in the entire Hazara region. Of course, very well-known Ashoka rock edicts in Mansehra. Now coming towards district Badagram. District Badagram is also a remote part of our division. We have documented 16 sites from district Badagram belonging to Buddhist period. So we have given dates to these sites based on the surface finding archaeological features that we have found during.
It gives me immense pleasure to be presenting something in front of my teacher and at the forum of my alma mater, Peshawar University Archaeology Department, Peshawar University. The title of the topic of my talk is Hindu Shahi in the Northwestern Pakistan. By Northwestern Pakistan, I refer to the 4 districts, Lower Dir, Malakand Agency, Guner and Swat. Next please. Here is the overview that I will be covering during my presentation. I will be briefly talking about the political history of the Hindu Shahi. Then I would be talking about the last capital center of the Hindu Shahi and the suggestions of the scholars. Then I would be talking about my research aim and the survey method that I undertook in the Northwestern Pakistan. Then I will be discussing, the results of my sites in the landscape context, like exploring the relationship between the sites and the landscape features such as mountains, waters, or access routes, etc. Then I will be discussing sites in the, I would be discussing the architecture of the sites, and then there would be discussion and contextualization of the sites. And then at last I would be talking about the tourism potential of these Hindu Shahi period sites. Next please. Those who know the Hindu Shahi archaeology, it is primarily known from the historic point of view. And there are 2 main historians. One is Al-Biruni, his work has been translated by Sacho, and then the other one is Kalhana, which has been translated by Stein. So according to these 2 scholars, the Al-Biruni has mentioned 8 kings for the dynasty, while the Kalhana has mentioned 5 kings. Yes, please. The modern scholars like Sir Rahman and Pandey and Mishra, they have, developed their own list based on the evidence of the coins, inscriptions, and sites. So according to the Dr. Rahman, there were some 10 kings. Pandey has listed 14 kings, and Mishra has listed 9 kings. So there is like a disagreement on each and on most aspect of the Hindu Shahi. So here we would be talking mainly about the last king, Bhimapala Deva. And even there is some controversy, or there are some different dates for the start of the dynasty. Like some believe Dr. Rahman, who has calculated based on the basis of one of the inscriptions, 822 BC, right? And then there are Pandey who thinks like 860, not BC, CE, sorry, Common Era, and Mishra, 1972, he has proposed 685. If I'm not wrong, I can't see from here. So there are disagreements about the scholars, even about the classical writers and about the modern scholars, about the number of kings and their, rise and fall. Next, please. Hindu Shahi, they had ruled the parts of the Afghanistan and Pakistan. So primarily they started their rule in Afghanistan and they established their capital center at Kabul. However, it was the time while Islam was expanding in different directions. So ultimately, Islam came to this area as well, and under the Ghaznavids, so they came to this area, Al-Taqi, and they captured one of the important area, Ghazni in Afghanistan, and declared himself as a king of the dynasty. Then he was followed by Subuktigin, who was also a very distinguished commander, and then he was followed by his son, Mahmud Ghaznavi, which is generally known as, Mahmud Ghaznavi, Sultan Mahmud Ghaznavi. So he came to this area, and he, around 1000 AD, he invaded the Hind Valley, the Hind capital center, which was at that time, the known capital center of the Hindu Shahi. Where did they go to the after the fall of the Hind? Nobody knows, but there are some suggestions. Khan 96, you can say, he has suggested that after the Hind, they moved to Batinda, modern Patiala, in modern Punjab, India. Some scholars such as Baloch, Ali, Qazi, Azim, and others think of the Nandana as their last capital center, after the fall of the Hind. Khan, Vedaya, and Ray, they think of, Lahore, that once this was captured by the Hindu Shahi Hind, Ghaznavid, when they captured the Hind Valley, the Hind capital center, so the Hindu Shahi are thought to have retreated to the Lahore. While Mishra, he has like a vague statement which states, an alternate capital has been established in the close to the Bank River of the kingdom, but in protected mountain range. However, he doesn't name any area or any, protected range or the river. Then again, Mishra, he has given another, he has chosen another location for the last capital, Hastanipura, which is located in Meerut district, Uttar Pradesh, India. While Dani, Rahman, Oliveri et al., they think of, the Hindu Shahi after the fall of the Hind, they retreated to the hilly region of this northern belt. I would say northern belt because, some may say Swat, Luwardi, Malakandi, Jasti, but to this broad region. Next, please. So, it was a suggestion at that time when I was doing my PhD. So I chose, to investigate this topic. That where did they move? So I just, developed two questions. One question was, did Hindu Shahi retreat to the northwestern Pakistan after the seizure of Hind? And the other question was, if, for example, if they have moved, so they have probably, to control this area, they have established a seat of power or the capital area somewhere in this northwestern Pakistan. So my second question was, is there any locality which can be considered as their possible seat of power? Next. This, this was a broad question to investigate, the old capital, or just to, understand this phenomena. So it needed extensity. So I chose the area within this Lower Dir, Malakand Regency, and Guner and Swat. Nearly I investigated 2,500 square kilometer area. So it was, I had a limited time of my PhD, so I chose, some different techniques which I then utilized to record and to investigate this area. During my survey, I recorded sites. I had also a special focus on the landscape features because I thought it would play a crucial role in my addressing my research questions. During the survey, I collected artifacts, mainly diagnostic potsherds, and I used the Geographical Information System (GIS) to understand this area and the relationship between the sites. When I conducted the survey, I was able to record a total of 267 sites. Out of the total sites, 225 sites were assigned to the Hindu Shahi period. 223 sites, like of the total 225 sites, 223 sites were the settlement sites, while 2 were wells. Then, when I studied, like the geographical distribution of the sites, I came to know that most of the Hindu Shahi sites are concentrating close to the passes. If you look at the map, they are, like when you go from Buner area, so they are concentrating near Barikot area, Karakar Pass, Malakand area, while going to this area from the Dargai area. So you can see there is, like when you descend from the Malakand, from the other route, Kotagra side, so when you descend into Malakand area, there are also some sites. So when I studied the concentration of sites, like they are covering a large area, mainly concentrating to the access routes, known access routes. The other trend which I observed, they were some of the sites were, like located or established in the valley passes. So at present there are no known routes or passes, but this indicates that this area may have been, like the ancient routes. So that is why they constructed these sites. And the A1 area was in particular, if you look at the, please bear with me, I got this shivering head genetically, so hopefully I would, sorry. Yes, this is in area, you can see this is in area, Mayar Valley, which has the highest concentration. I was able to record a total of 54 sites there. And this is the most, in terms of the activity, this is the most heavily occupied area within this region. While we see, like nearby in this area, this is, like Matkane, sir, Farooq this morning talked about Matakne. And this is, like close to that area, this is just Kolange. That is, like while coming from the Karakar Pass. However, the site concentration is lower in upper areas. They extend right up to the Talash Valley, but I didn't find, like any site beyond the Talash Valley. Yes, please. I studied the physical location, as I said, that I would be analyzing sites in the landscape context. So when I studied these total number of sites, a total of 56 sites, let me explain this, all of these sites except the 2 wells are located on the high mountains, either on slopes or on the hilltops. But of the total sites, 56 sites were located on the hilltop, while the 167 sites occupied the hill slopes. Only 2 sites, which were wells, were only documented beneath these sites in the valley floor. The elevation, like these sites, as I said, are located on the high mountains. So they fall in one broad category. Like they start from 511, like what we see MASL, meter above sea level. So they are located between the 511 and 1272 AMSL. This makes, like the location of the sites make them really difficult to access because they are located on the high mountains. It takes a lot of energy to get there, and when you get there, you see the sites are, located, occupying a very strategic location. So they oversee the entire area surrounding, the entire landscape can be seen from these sites. Like these sites also, when they were built, what Dr. Rahman Saab has said, like these sites were built at eyesight range. So when you look at these sites, so they maintain eyesight, like a close interaction between the site within the one area and beyond the particular localities. So these sites, like this location of the sites on the high mountains gives them a lot of safety and security, and also it creates, it give them upper hand to attack or just, like on intruders, etc. You can see these are the location of sites in the valleys. Please go back. You can see, like these are located on the high mountains, so you can see the modern settlements down there. They are quite far, and they are always overlooking the access routes coming towards them. Yes, please. I was, these sites included different structures, but I would talk about rooms, bastions, watchtowers, and underground pits. So a total of 100 sites, included watchtowers, and they were in multiple numbers, ranging from 1 to 8 numbers. So altogether, I was able to document 217 watchtowers across these broad area, in these 4 districts. The watchtowers comprised of a platform, 3 upper stories, and it included an entrance. There was no permanent stairs. To access these watchtowers, none of the watchtower had any evidence of the permanent access. They also included windows and multiple number of arrow slits. Yes, please. These are some examples of the watchtowers. Please go back, sir, please. Yes, please. Yes. This is the plan which I have developed on the basis of one of the existing, which you can see. It still rises up to 33 feet in height, and it includes, it gives an idea of 4 stages. You can see the platform here. This is the platform which was built solid, but it was built on the quite, like it was built quite large. So if you had to access the first, this is the entrance, which was very narrow. Once you get into these watchtowers, so there was 1 story, it didn't include any window or any arrow slot. Then there is, you can see, you can go upstairs there to the 2nd floor. So it included also the window and also, the different arrow slits. Similarly, the 3rd floor also included a window and also some arrow slits and air hole. And these arrow slits are built in the way that they are spacious enough from inside. They provide them to to throw an arrow or shoot an arrow while you cannot be targeted from the outside. Yes, please. Yes. ये सर जो आप जो मिल ये पूरे जो है गिर के हैं. Go back so I can tell you. This one sir is located in Thana area. Yes. Watchtower distribution and multiplicity, as I said, like we have been able to record 217 watchtowers in total. So it included different categories. Primarily, they were built, sites with single watchtower. However, there are the evidence of multiple watchtowers. 29 sites included 2 watchtowers, 3 sites, 3 watchtowers. There were 9 sites with 4 watchtowers, and 2 sites with 5 watchtowers, and 1 site with 8 watchtowers. But interestingly, the distribution of these areas is quite different. If you look at this again, like we see more than a single watchtower can be found throughout this region. However, if we come to the multiple number of watchtowers, they largely concentrate in the Mayar area, in the Kalange area, and in one instance in the Talash area. So the distribution is not similar. You can see, like there are differences in the number of watchtowers and concentration. Yes, please. Then I was able to record 27 underground pits. So they were also recorded in multiple numbers, and the total reached to 39. Out of 39, 27 pits were built, like in oval shape, while 11 were built in rectangular shape. And the size of both, irrespective of their shapes, the size appeared to be quite the same. The oval ranged from 80 centimeter to 1 centimeter roughly, and the same again, like this. So there is some 10-20 centimeter difference in their sizes. Yes, please. These are the pits. You can see the top. Well, luckily, I was able to record. This is also located in Thane area, which had this. This has collapsed. The sides have demolished of the pits, while the upper portion is intact. So you can see that this hole might have been used as a lid. This has been like a lid. And this hole has been used to remove or place back, like this lid on the these pits. Yes, please. As I said, again, when we look at the distribution of these sites, so again, they are primarily, the distribution of the pits is very limited. It is very much confined to certain area. Like especially the Mayar Valley is very much rich. However, we see here, which has been not that much significant in terms of watchtowers, this Dara area. Those who is aware, it is located it divides the Swat district and the Dir district, little beyond the Malakand University. This is known as Dara area. And here you can see the location of the pits. They have been built inside the rooms, outside the rooms, and at various places. Yes, please. Bastions. There were, it was another architectural feature which I recorded on total 40 sites. Per site included 1 to 10 bastions. So bastion site and without bastion site, there is a difference between them. Because when you look at the bastion, it requires skills, it requires expertise, it requires resources. While you look at the non-watchtower sites, so they just have been built, it doesn't require that much efforts or the resources. These bastions show, what they reflect. They reflect strength, dominance, and authority in the region. When you look at these sites with bastion and without bastion, you see a clear difference in these sites. Sites with the bastion appear to be more impressive and more elegant, while the non-watchtower site appear to be simple. So they primarily give a look of the military architecture. Yes, please. Distribution of bastions, you can see again, they are primarily concentrating in the Mayar Valley. This one you can see it includes the highest number of bastion sites, which is 10. 8-1 and 6-1, all of them are located. And similarly, as we have noticed in the pits case, they are not very much extended. They are not found in all areas. So they are primarily found in these areas. Yes, please. Discussion. So, if we look at the number of sites that I have documented, 225 sites, and the earlier researchers have also documented more than 100 sites in this. Probably the precise number is not known, but they have documented a large number of sites in this area. So this area, on the basis of the tangible evidence, this appears to be the heavily occupied known region of the Hindu Shahi. If I just include only my side, this appears to, because only what I have gone through the literature, only Dr. Hassan was able to record 84 sites in the valley of Peshawar. The rest, they have, there are not that much good number of sites in different areas. When we look at the sites, key strategic locations, if you have observed that they have occupied, the main access routes and passes and all valleys, so they appear to be controlling this region. They are, again I would refer to the Dr. Rahman, who has rightly said that wherever there is an opening to this region, this has been covered with a fort. So this shows a firm control to this area. Yes? Elevation and physical location, it also, this is, if we look at the whole pattern of the site, it is entirely different from the succeeding and preceding dynasties or the periods. They are entirely different because we don't see the entire sites have been established on the mountain tops. So it gives them, accessibility, supervision, interaction, defense, as I mentioned, and counter-attack. And then the utilization of topography, they have no trenches, or they have no base for the construction. They have just utilized the rough topography and have built sites. She's just, forcing me to end up. Please, watchtowers and defensive nature. You have noticed that these watchtowers are very much, defensive. You cannot access them. There is no practical, no permanent accessibility. And in defensive nature, they have, if you look at this, the two floors didn't include the windows, which was showing, the concern of the Hindu Shahi for safety. So they are very offensive and defensive nature. Yes? Yes, please. And pit storage, why did they need to store pits, underground pits? So probably they were in the position to store, these pits have been used for storage, probably because they are not that spacious, not that big to accommodate a large number of things. So they may have accommodated food, water, weaponry, and other valuables because they were built inside the rooms. In many cases, we find them inside the rooms. And bastions. Bastions shows, its strength, power, and dominance. Again, it is the military architecture. So why did they need, to build bastions, in that area? And then the arrow slits. Again, there are multiple number of arrow slits in every site, and this gives the prospects of the surveillance and attack. When we look at the similarities of these sites, throughout this region, we have noticed that they have quite a similar pattern. They are occupying, the landscape feature. They have, as we have seen in the maps, they are occupying, like the key strategic location in this area, close to the passes and the valleys. And when we look at the architecture, despite the number of difference in different areas are at different sites, we see, like there is no difference at all in the site construction or in the in other features. So they are quite the same. So they appear to be contemporary. It shows that almost all of these sites were constructed at the same time. Yes, please. Differences in number of sites and structures. When you see like this shows the socio-political and economic and safety considerations, because these days when we look at for example, the provincial capital, or like even I would say here, when you see, so we have like sofas here, and for the back benches we have like the chairs, still comfortable, but it shows the status of the people. So these number of differences, in structures such as watchtowers, such as pits, and such as bastions, they signify the socio-political and economic consideration of the sites, occupants, and of the region of the particular locality as well. Gumbad Lower Dir is the only area which had one temple that it doesn't exist anymore, but it was mentioned by Sir Lawrence Stein and then Professor Dr. Dani. So it's also quite strange when we look at the other areas of the Hindu Shahi, which are known for the temple construction. They are very close to the areas and close to the main route access. However, this temple has been constructed right at the end of this area which they control or they occupy. So it is the extreme northern edge of the area in Gumbad Talash area. And this is again from the landscape context and from the architecture, it all appear to be military architecture. And this is not only me, myself, my studies, it has been discussed by and it has been suggested by all scholars who have worked in this area and have encountered the Hindu Shahi sites. So they have the similar thought that it is a military architecture. And this is the most defensive region. When we look at the number of watchtowers and the landscape setting of the sites, so this is the most defensive region in Pakistan and beyond in the South Asia. So none of the area has been this much heavily fortified in the Pakistan and in the South Asia. So this appears to be the most defensive region from the evidence. Yes, please. Wakar, last slide. So Hindu Shahi, why did they need, when we look at these sites, so Hindu Shahi were involved in the conflicts with the Ghaznavid. So it may be the result of that area, that as they have, as I mentioned, the last capital center, that they retreated to an unknown region. So where did they move? It is not, certain. But like they had this rivalry between the Ghaznavids and the Hindu Shahi. So this may have been the result of the, as suggested by Rahman Saab, as suggested by Dani and Italians, that this have been their last retreat center. So it shows that they may have retreated to this area after the fall of Hunt. And this is an unknown cape. When we have like the narration of an unknown retreat or capital center. So as suggested by, again, the scholars, so this may have been the area that they have retreated. And when we look at the Salamkot bilingual inscriptions, this shows the date of a tomb construction in 1011 CE, right? And then we have an inscription from Majawar area, which showing in year 197 of an unknown period. So this unknown period has been just translated and calculated by Ali and Rahman and Khan et al. And they have assigned 1019 AD. Yes, please. So Ghaznavid inscription again coming from the mosque in 2000, which shows the construction of the Ghaznavid mosque in 1048-49 CE. And according to Fachena et al., he says that this was built at the time when the Ghaznavids invaded this region, and they built this mosque in order to show their dominance and authority in this area or not this authority. So according to the suggestion, this May area, as I undertook this study to attest the suggestion of the Dr. Dani and other scholars who have said that they have retreated to this area. So my studies, on the basis of tangible evidence, it shows that which is highly defensive architecture, it shows that they may have retreated to this area. Next, please. And then the second question was my, like the last capital center. So as they have moved to this area, so certainly they needed an area from where they can organize or they can politically control the area. So if you look at the location of Mayar Valley, Mayar Valley is very centrally located. It is away from all passes and routes, and it has been protected. It is the most naturally protected area in this region with the Hindu Shahi sites. And again, like this is give them in sense of the it enables them to cover, to communicate with different areas. And this is naturally codified area, especially when you go from Peshawar. So you come across the Malakand range, then there is river Swat, and while coming from the Bajawad area, there is river Panchkola, which again, creates another obstacle to this area. So this may be like the very fortified region, and this Mayar Valley has been protected or just occupied by, surrounded by sites on either sides. And then number of sites, when we see the number of sites, this area included, Mayar Valley included a total of 52 sites out of 25 sites. So this shows very significant activity, as compared to the other area. This shows the highly concentrated activity, in terms of architecture and everything. Yes, please. This is the last slide, madam. I'm really sorry. This one. This is my conclusion. I have no conclusion. This is my conclusion. So Mayar Valley is again, like when we look at the abundant structure, as we have here, we have like a highest number of watchtowers, we have highest number of pits, we have highest number of bastions, and even I didn't include the pottery, ceramics analysis there. It also, like the important decorative motifs coming from this area. So it shows the again the social and political importance of this area. And we have like, as there is a suggestion of the area that they have come, like the Rajagira is considered to be the last sovereign of Hindu ruler. However, it is based on the oral tradition. No archaeological study has been conducted in the vast area to include this. So this may be the possible, like according to the understanding of this my study results, this may Mayar Valley be the possible last seat of power as suggested by Dani. So they have moved to this area and probably they occupied Mayar Valley as their last seat of power. Thank you very much. Sorry I have taken long. But I was the only one who has been given this check. That time is over. Nobody has been given this check. So that's why I got this opportunity, and especially in front of my teacher and especially my respected Sir Rahman Saab to present my research there. So
yes, you did a wonderful job, but because of the time constraints, so I think she has rightly given you the.
I have no objection to that, sir. Thank you very much. I apologize.
have accepted my request very politely. That is very
और मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा on behalf of the audience कि अगर मोहित साहब जो है ना वो कल अपना प्रेजेंटेशन कर ले तो क्या मोहित साहब आपने जाना तो नहीं है अगर आज आप ड्रॉप कर दे क्योंकि बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट ठीक है
5 मिनट में खत्म कर
Should I come? Should I come? So without taking much more time, Dr. Mueezuddin is invited.
First of all, thanks to every one of you here that University of Peshawar has facilitated us here to share our understanding about our past, about history, through archaeological data. And today, I would like to thank everyone, HEC, Peshawar University, Archaeological University, those who have facilitated me to conduct the studies at Kargah and Naupura site. Today's topic is about the Kargah site, which is located on a crossroad in Gilgit, that has been established as a result of historical developments in the area. Studies, before going to discuss my own topic, studies include that this site was for the first time mentioned by John Biddulph in the 1880s. And many people after him, he first time recorded that this sculpture of Kargah is 9 feet. And everybody is repeatedly mentioning that this Kargah Buddha is of 9 feet. Until now. Same thing was mentioned by Ulama Muhammad, same thing was mentioned by Dr. Zahoor, same thing was mentioned by Dr. Ahmad Hassan, and similar things are repeated. Therefore, we were in need to conduct an investigation on this site. Next, please. You can see a road, connecting Taxila to Central Asia, or Swat to Central Asia. This is the main KPH road. Alongside this, you will find Kharoshti inscriptions at various concentrations. Between Shatyal, as mentioned before, Shatyal to Thalpan. And on the other side, when you will cross the passes, you will find at Alam Bridge, the concentration of site. And then at Hunza Haldekis, you will see a large concentration of Kharoshti inscriptions. But you will not find a single evidence of Kharoshti inscriptions from Baltistan and not from West. This marks this was the earliest explored route between Central Asia and Gandhara. Okay, next slide. Similar size, for example, this is structure from Tarim Basin, is very much comparable to the structures of Gandhar modern. Next slide, and you can see the face of the sculpture there. They are not similar to the local features of the area. Next, please. Okay, what happens in 4th century that many people are exploring new ways, new routes, due to historical developments. Therefore, the route of Baltistan also opens and connects Tibet. And on the other side, some short routes connecting Tarim Basin to Gandhara are also explored. These are the short routes what I believe that Fahian traveled from Yasin Valley through Gopis and he reached Darel, and from Darel he reached down to Swat. Yes, please. Okay, on this side in Gilgit, Naupura is located, and the pass going up, Kargah path is leading towards the Darel Valley, and from Darel you can go down to Gandhar. And on the crossroad you will see that on the yellow point there is the Kargah Kargah Buddha site or the Kargah Naupura site, where two ravines are connecting, known as Shukoga and Kargah. There are two sources of water available here. Next. Okay, next. This on one side there is Naupura and the other side there is Kargah. This is the sculpture of Buddha or Yakshini, locally called as Yakshini. This figure was calculated 9 feet before, but with help of drone, when I calculated, it was 30 feet. It means that it is larger than Jahanabad Buddha, and which was considered to be the second largest in this art, and very contemporary to Jahanabad Buddha also, in the features of art. Okay, next slide. This is the area from where you can see A, B, and C. These are the trenches of Kaul Shastri of 1938. From these trenches, Gilgit manuscript has been recovered. And these trenches have still, the structural remains to some extent are visible. On one side, above the side of Kargah Buddha, there are the structures. And on the other side of Naupura, there are the structures. Means that this was a very huge complex. Next, please. These are some more details, drawn images of those their side. Next, please. These are again. Next. This is some manuscripts because in 1930s, first time explored by a shepherd, and again in 1938, excavation conducted by Kaul Shastri, and we have a collection in Karachi Museum, which was actually purchased by Gucci and donated to Karachi Museum. Please. And some Palola Shahi inscriptions from Weather. Next. Tibetan inscriptions from Hakuch, which actually attest the Sino-Tibetan conflicts in the area. Next. And these are the manuscripts folios. Means 3 sets are available there in Karachi. One set is of Prajya Paramita Sutta, then Vinaya Vastu, then Dharma Pundarika Sutta. These 3 sets are available at Karachi Museum, which is known as Gucci Collection. 46 folios of Prajna Paramita, 180 folios of Vinaya Vastu, and 20 folios of Sadharma Pundarika. And some collections, terracotta pottery collections, have been found from Naupura site. And seals on terracotta with impression of Sharda inscriptions were found even beside the Gilgit manuscript, which is said to be sent to Peshawar Museum. One of the seals was found there that is very comparable to those inscriptions which have been published by Professor Nasim and SRS. Okay. Similar, these are some details of caves. You can see cave there, a canal which was leading to Naupura side there. These are some structures, and these from this side, the Gilgit manuscript, the image you can see, which is available, well preserved collection is there at National Museum Collection. Again, here on this side, you can see a canal. There is, you will see the holes inside in the rock. Actually, these holes were to facilitate the upper terrace to give access of water to the upper terrace of Naupura. And still only holes are remains. There is no wooden structures available so far. Next, please. Some similar examples from Chinese Turkestan, like Gilgit manuscripts. Okay, these are some sculptures which leads towards. I'm not going towards more details. Yes, please. Next. Okay, see, the transform means that you at the bottom you will see Bodhisattva Padma Pani and Bodhisattva Maitreya, and here on the side of Manthan Buddha you will see the same thing, like Bodhisattva Padma Pani holding lotus, and on the other side Bodhisattva Maitreya holding a flask. Means this tradition is moving towards Tibet in later period. Earlierly, you saw on the map that in 1st century BC, Mahayana was moving towards Central Asia. But after 6th and 7th century AD, what I want to say that from Gilgit area, from Naupura side, from this area, the Tantric Buddhism, Vajrayana tradition is moving towards Tibet. There, this monastery remained very important because this site has revealed manuscript, this site is revealing various types of antiquities, and this site is located on the crossroad, which are leading towards the tradition. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Moise, for keeping the pace light and calm. Thank you very much. Now I want to invite respected Professor Dr. Nasim Hazara.
With the permission of the chair, sir, should I continue? Honorable Vice Chancellor, my respected teacher, esteemed teacher, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. My presentation is not really comprehensive. I brought just 3 questions, and I'm looking for answer of these 3 questions, and I'm sure you will help me to find out the answer. So I will find out the answer myself. And if you are agree, you can say, okay, you are right. If not, so you can add and help me out. Actually, my basic research, PhD research, is based on rock carving in the Upper Indus Valley. And I'm sure most of you, if not all, have visited the northern areas. Thank you. And know the landscape and the cultural heritage of that region. And I was lucky that once I was traveling with Professor Ehsan Isab, Professor Tajir Isab, not with us, and Professor Farooq Shawati and Darren Brand was also with us. Remember me? You visited that area? Yeah. So that is a wonderful area, and I want to show you and share with you some slides, and then we'll look for the answer of the 3 questions, in fact. Yeah, so the title is Baragali. We don't know what these symbols are for. Maybe they are just by someone passing the time, or they might have some symbolic meaning like chakra or sun symbol, or etc. So some of the symbols are like that, they depend on how to interpret Yeah, next one. Yeah, I was talking about these dynastic symbols. You see, we have here the Sogdian symbol here, we have the Hittiite symbol here, we have the Kushan symbol here. So they help us. If not, we are not very 100% sure that, oh, that belongs to the Kushan people. But at least we say, oh, this is the Kushan symbol, so maybe this belongs to the Kushan. Otherwise, how we can justify the presence of this symbol? The same is for the Sogdian symbol. It is not, we could find in Gandhara. That's mostly found to Central Asia. And the Hittiite symbol is similar. We can find on the coins these symbols. Next one. Now, somebody was talking, I think my friend was talking about these the pentagram archaeological domain. So this is the painting coming from the pentagram. Professor Farid Khan discovered this long ago. And here we have a Khamushti inscription here. And we can get it easily that the carving, it is written is Kanishka Maharaja Viharo. It means the Vihara or the monastery or the stupa is of Kanishka Maharaja. Hear me? Yes. So, the style of the stupa is very different. When there is a Khamushti inscription nearby, the form of the stupa, the style of the stupa is different. If a Brahmi inscription is added with the stupa carving or any other religious carving, particularly the stupa, the shape, the form change. And the difference is about 3 to 4 centuries AD. So, and these are mostly similarity can be seen with Gandharan stupa. And that, of course, we can justify with the Kharushti inscriptions as well, because Kharushti inscriptions are in there nearby. Next one, please. So these are very developed form of stupa. And all stupa here, they are added with the Brahmi inscription, Sogdi inscription. So all sort of inscriptions, but they belong to the 4th, 5th century AD. Except one group of inscription, which is here. This is Kharushti inscription that can be guessed at Kharushti, because when we read as Kharushti, we can't translate it. I mean, we can't understand the meaning. The text, we don't know what is written there. So at the form, the shape of the letter is very similar to Kharushti, but in fact the language is not clear. So we shouldn't consider this for dating the inscription, the carving. The other inscriptions which are datable, they are readable, and the contents, we know what is written there. So they belong to the 4th, 5th century AD. For all stupa, which belong to the 4th, 5th century AD, there is a clear difference between the early group and the second group. This group is added with Kharushti, a Brahmi inscription, and other foreign scripts belong to the 4th, 5th century AD. But the previous group you have seen, these are early style, and we can say that thanks to the Kharushti inscriptions, to the 1st, 2nd century AD. Next one, please. So we have also these other religious carving, we in thousands. The Jataka stories, the Shivi Jataka, Vyagri Jataka, and this the temptation of Mara, and the first Salman is there. Next one. It's again the very developed form of stupa. There are Bodhisattvas, Manjushri, Avalokiteshwar, different Bodhisattvas are engraved there. Next one. And the inscription, either they are just the names, like you have seen Kaka, or sometimes they are added with the patronym, like father, and sometimes with brothers. But there are very few inscriptions. I should say few. There's only one inscription which is dated. There's a date inside, but we don't know about the era. And one inscription, which is published by Professor Dani, it's mentioned the name of the kingdom. Apart from these are very fragmentary inscriptions and not give us too much information about the person who engraved this. There are some. For example, this inscription, Om Kullajaya, is the name of a person, and then this Om Siddham, Sarvadatasya, Kritam Maya, so that's the word Maya is by me. So sometimes we have word and the action, and the person who did it. Otherwise, you can't get more information from those inscriptions, so you have to guess. Next one. Yeah, that's the very famous Chinese inscription. So it was debated for so many years, or this belonged to the northern wire, southern wire, which that it is. But fortunately, we found a linga here that superimposed the Chinese inscription, and we couldn't date the linga. But the name of the person who engraved the linga is also there. It is written in Brahmi characters, and that's 4th, 5th century. That means that the Chinese inscription is earlier than that. And this inscription is extremely important. Why? Because you can see the reading, the translation here. Who I know, then why of the great Y is dispatched to Mimi now. We don't know where is Mimi. Most of the scholars, they agree that Mimi is Mimarga in Central Asia somewhere. But we don't have any good other option to suggest or propose, so we have stuck to that Mimi Mimarga in Central Asia. So the Chinese diplomat was dispatched or sent to go to the Mimi, passing to that area. Next one. Yes, you see, these are brief inscriptions: Shiva Latasa, Vasu Latasa, Jiva Jarma, Varna Jatta. Very brief inscription. Next one. Yeah, this is the one where the kingdom is in Kasha region. So this is the only inscription put by Mueezuddin which mentioned the name of the kingdom. and also the year here, but we don't know the era exactly. So we have to guess from the style of the writing. Next one. So these are the very common names, or very important for us. Why? Because we can guess from those names because they are engraved on both sides of the Indus, in the same style, in the same script. So that helps us that that particular person was circulating from one area, going from one area to another. But it was not possible to do all the time. He has to wait a suitable time to cross the Indus. And as I explained in the beginning, that to cross the Indus, it is not very easy. You have to wait for a proper time. And the proper time is to the Indus, the level of the Indus is low. And when it is low, it is during the winter season. So when you cross the Indus level, so that is a good thing for you to cross the Indus. But on the other hand, there is a negative part of that. Why? Because then the top of the mountain are covered with snow. You can't cross the passes. So you have to stay on the other side of the Indus. So what you have to do? So these are the varnished rocks, and you have to stay there. So that is one possibility. And the other possibilities, that is some of the scholars are thinking that, or maybe there was these were the trading center. People coming from Central Asia, from China, they were exchanging their goods there. So that is another possibility. Next one. Yeah, so this is very technical. I don't want to go into detail this, but this is how to relate these different names I mentioned earlier. So they have relation. I'll just give you an example. Vasudhara. Here is the reason that Vasudhara. Vasudatta is this one. Vasudatta is the son of Vasudhara. This here. So we can connect these in some way, thanks to these few inscriptions, that what relation they have. Otherwise, we don't have any other optional possibility to connect these people. But I presume that there were not many people living there. There were very few people, but they were circulating from one area to another, engraving their names again and again. And you can find Vasudatta, for example, maybe 100 times there. But if you consider it individually, you say, oh, 100 people came here. Oh, it's possible. But I presume that this was only one person there. Next one, please. Yeah, this is sand. So, next one. The previous one. Yeah, here there's a word I don't understand. I'm just looking for the designation or the importance of those people, who they were. They were traders, or they were diplomats, like in Chinese inscriptions. What was their profession? So this inscription, Mahatrapasa, and we have the word Mahakashatrapa. So how to relate this? It's difficult to say, but it's possible that it's the third form of Mahakashatrapa. Because the Bhagavato Vasutara, see ahead, Bhagavat Vasutara, Mahakashatrapa Vasutara. So maybe he was an important person there, visiting the area. Next one, please. Yeah, skip this. Yeah, this, Madam Aisha, this is for you. Kashmir is a very important site. And why? Because we didn't know that their site was visited by Xuanzang. Unfortunately, we found there are some seals which mention the name of Bhimadevi. And Xuanzang, in his account, he said, I visited the temple of Maheshwara. And he is talking about the goddess Bhimadevi. So once you know, okay, if you know that he visited Peshawar, and then onward we didn't know whether he visited Saribelo or not, whether he visited, there are different opinions, you know. So I can't say that that one is correct or the other one is not correct.
Where was the ground in Peshawar, in Goreshwar? I think this was the area which is now called Balahisar. Who were the people who lived there? They were beings. Actually, there was Bheel ground. Bheel ground was turned into Bheel ground. Belgaum is the famous city. It's still there in India where Humayun was defeated by Sher Suri. That was Belgaum. Here L is deleted and it becomes Belgaum. You will be surprised to know that these are still living in lower Sindh area. These are still here. They marched from Afghanistan, Peshawar to Punjab and Kashmir. In Punjab and Kashmir, Gram is called Wal. Now this big Gram in Punjab is Bhil Wal. In Kashmir it is Bhil Wal. There are several towns known as Bhil Wal in Peshawar, in Punjab. So from Punjab they were pushed onward, southward towards Sindh, and now they are still there in the desert area of Sindh. Now, if you believe Sir Olaf Carroll, you will find a caricatured history. And similar misinterpretation was given by other European writers regarding, for instance, Odigram. There is a fort near Odigram on the slope of a mountain. That fort, Italians in their report write is the fort of Raja Gira. Italians obviously picked up this name from the local people. Fort of Raja Gira. There was no Raja Gira. The actual name of the place was Rajgarh. Raj, perhaps later, those who came later on in Swat, perhaps maybe Pashtun, they didn't know what does Rajgarh mean. So someone clever among them said, no, Chupsha, this is Raja Gira, not Rajgarh. So from that time on, it became a Raja Gira. But it's very clear that it's actually a corrupted form of Rajgarh. It was from this place that the Odis ruled Swat and also parts of Peshawar Valley. It was a very powerful time. Odis are, Nasim told me that there is Odigram in Deen as well. And the people of Odigram are considered wise people. That's what he told me. There is Odigram in Peshawar as well. And Odiyan Mala is there. I have forgotten the name of it. It's opposite Nushera. It was occupied by Sikhs. I have forgotten the name of it. There is Odiyan Mahala. In Kashmir, there is Odi Valley. So they spread around, all around this area for a very long time, for centuries. I was once excavating at and an old man came to me and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm trying to find out the history of this area." Well, he laughed. He said, "History is already known." So I said, "What is that?" He said, "The last of the Buddhists was defeated here by Mount Ghaznavi." So that is the history of this area. Then I came to know that the Hindu Shahis very often mentioned in our history books were actually only Shahis. The last of the Hindu Shahis was only Shahi. Oti Shahi was defeated by Mahmud Ghaznavi. Why Hindu Shahi? Zahoor has made a mock of Al-Baragali. Otherwise, he is a very good scholar, Zahoor, who has correctly translated Al-Baragali's book. But in some cases, this Hindu Shahi is derived from Al-Baragali's Hindu Shahiya. Hindu Shahiya. Shahis of Hind. It's not Hindu, I'm sorry, Hindi Shahiya. No, Zahoor has translated into Hindu. The Hindi Shahiyas mean Shahis of India. The place nowadays called Pakistan was known as India, Hind at that time. Shahis of Hind. Shahis of India. Zahoor translated it as Hindu Shahis. I think people are fed up there going. So there are many things which I wanted to teach you, but
सर नमाज का भी टाइम है और मेरे ख्याल में सर दूसरा सेशन भी वो है तो कंक्लूड अगर कर लिया जाए great would be better. और सर शील्ड्स
they are my student, I am their teacher.
सर आप शील्ड्स भी सर आप इनको देंगे मैडम आप प्लीज अनाउंस करें शील्ड दे दें सर आगे आ जाएंगे
वो गरीबों के इसी तरह यहाँ पर दरादार थे ये सोचेंगे कि उनको लगा दिया वो गरीब हो गए
Dr. Ijaz Khan. Dr. Mueezuddin.
आपको पसंद है उठा लें
Professor Dr. Nasim. Now I will request for the Vice Chancellor to please present the sheet to Professor Abdul Rahman. After it's followed by the next session will be based